So I kind of want to apologize. This hasn't been out in a while, and I didn't get to draw anything because I kind of forgot to. So I do apologize. But sorry for the long wait for this. I had to rewatch My Hero Academia to remember what happened. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. You didn't know what happened, but when you looked at everyone's faces, they were, how do you put it? Scared, worried, pain. They were all looking at the screen as the battle took place. You knew this was a tough one, but your mind was running every possible combination. But everything coming out to be that. All Might would lose. You never really liked the guy, but he was the one who helped. The one who made you like this in the first place. Kirishima, tell me what happened. I ran here and I didn't look what was happening. He whispered. We helped Bakugo get out of there, but when he got there, he whispered. Bakugo was fighting them for a bit. He continued. You watched in horror as the battle took place. All Might's body was combined of a tiny and huge, a man with him. He looked like he was going to die any minute. All for One's mask almost completely gone. They had been talking for some time, till All for One readied an attack. You gasped as it went for a girl by him, and his body was frail and weak-looking. Midoriya's face began to panic more and more, sweat dripping down. But still, All Might, tiny and weak, still stood, ready to fight. But he just stood there, shocked. Please, you begged. In your mind, even though, why is All for One doing this? Is he mocking him? You thought, as All for One pulled his face into a smile of some sorts. All Might screamed. Everyone was silent. They all cheered for them, including both Midoriya and Bakugo. As you cheered, you could see something within All Might come back to the fight. The fire was still burning in the man. You could tell. Your mouth quivered. Please, All Might, you lightly spoke. All for One raised them, looking like they were going to fight once again. Your hands were clasped, praying that the man you once loved with everything was now your enemy. A man helping the other, taking the injured out of the area while fighting. A blast set many of the others away, All for One growing bigger and bigger as you watched. All Might looked ready for whatever was coming for him. Their punches coming together, looking at if All Might would have lost something within him, fought harder as he fought, holding back what was coming with him. His other arm punched All for One in the face. Then, other began larger once again and punched him in the face with everything he had, the mask breaking and All for One falling to the ground. Everyone watched as the battle finished. All Might raised his hand in the air. Then, after the cleanup, he pointed out at the camera and spoke. You are next. And with that, you saw Midoriya tear up. You didn't know why, but tears were running down his face as everyone cheered All Might. Let's get going, Kirishima said, holding your hand and ushering Bakugo away. The next day, you were on your day off since the trains were working, but a call was going between you and the doctor. The no moves we lost were just minor ones. The ones you have made, though, they will surely take down some, he cheered. Yes, sir, and with the trains being on, I can't work on it, you sighed. Oh, but dear, don't worry. The plan will still take a couple of months. You have plenty of time. He spoke. You slammed your cup on the table, scaring both Tofu and Michi. I don't like it when my work isn't finished. You snapped. You heard him chuckle. Oh, dear Yin. You don't have to worry. I know you don't like waste of time, but this isn't a waste. It is a point where you can think of the perfect weapon. He spoke. You sighed. Yes, sir. You spoke. With a hum. With that, he hung up. You sighed as the call finished. I'm sorry, my babies. You hugged the two as they came to check on you. Tofu spoke. That was when your front door opened, seeing it was Kirishima. Kirishima, you gasped as the two went over. The second day where Kirishima came to your house, where you two were having a movie date, you had given him a key to your house. Hey, Yin. Hey, you two. He petted the two. Kirishima, I do have to apologize. You sighed as you walked more inside. For what? He asked. I knew they were going to do something, but I didn't think they were going to kidnap a kid. You teared. I thought they would just have a word with them, but not this. You started to cry. Yen, he spoke. No, Kirishima, you don't know how much I worried about you. And if Bakugo didn't join, even with the help of you guys, he would have been turned into a Nomu by me. You cried. Falling to the floor, Kirishima came running to your side, along with Tofu and Michi. Yen, please, I know this won't go as you also want them to go, but that doesn't mean you should give up. You looked at him, and he held your face with his hands. Yen, please. I know many things can't go as we see fit, but we must keep going through it, even if it kills us. That's what it means to be a hero, right? He wickedly smiled. You placed a hand on one of his, smiling. But I don't like change. You giggled, both of you beginning into fits of laughter. You both got up and looked at him. Kirishima, turn me in. He looked at you shocked. But... You cut him off. No, the League doesn't have to know. Besides, the League doesn't even know my whole face, except for one person, and he's locked up. You sighed. But why did you come here? But why did you come here? You asked. Well, there's going to be dorms, and I'm in trouble, badly. He sighed. I have already moved in. He chuckled, scratching the back of his head. But are you sure? He asked. You nodded. The only way I can fully be trusted is by that way. You sighed. Tomorrow I'll tell them and I can arrange a meeting with them, he sighed. But why not spend time together? He smiled. Sure, you giggled. The next day had come to your surprise. You were getting ready. Your fingers trembled as you looked at yourself in the mirror, seeing the scar they caused almost 10 years ago. You had overcome them, and the fact that you may be jailed for showing yourself, you just had to wait for the text for Kirishima. Your phone buzzed, seeing it was a doctor, and all he said was, come. You frowned your eyebrows, knowing it was something you needed. You went to the front door and closed it, leaving your babies home. They always went with you, but if you were going to UA today, you didn't want them coming out of your bag and ruining it for you. You walked into the underground room in the hospital and walking to him. Ian, our next plan is to make Jizaki join us. Let us use their secret weapon, he spoke, turning to his computer. If I may ask, what does it do? You questioned. You heard him chuckle. It would let us take away quirks, like praying mantises to its own kind. He squeezed his hand and chuckled. You nodded. Yes, sir. By the way, the fact that comes from female mantises taking the head off male after or during mating season. So yeah, this will be good to know. I can tell the heroes when I meet with them today. This will hopefully take them down before it ever happens. You thought as you left to talk with the nurses about the patients, since you were head nurse. After an hour of working, you got a text from Kirishima. I'm sorry, Mika, but I have to go to a meeting. You spoke walking out of the room. All right, Miss Lin. She bowed. Now it was time for you to face the UA staff. Oopsies, I left you guys on a cliffhanger. By the way, I hope you guys liked the picture that is up on screen. I drew it, and I hope you guys like it. Sorry once again that there's not many drawings in this. There's like 2, so I'm very sorry for that. But next week, have fun, because it's Bakugo X Villain Listener. And also, and then, we may have a spicy one coming up.